All right, we're back at it, and I want to start this off by saying thank you. Um, I made that tier list kind of as a what the fuck, why not, in the heat of everything, especially with me using this nigga right here. And as you see, I made some changes to the list. I made some changes, just kind of thinking about it. Um, and seeing the video take off the way it did, kind of really threw me off guard. I've seen somebody like named like Big Boy subscribe to the channel. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I was like, okay, I guess it hit some people. Then I looked at it, it had like 1,000 views. I was like, what the fuck? And that really caught me off guard, if I'm being honest. That was really, really surprising. So thank you to you all. As you see, a lot of my channel's kind of a throwaway, if you will. God damn it, cat. Also, I turned my mic volume up to hell. Not to hell, but louder. So if you hear a lot of movement, my cat's currently laying on my fucking mouse pad. But um, I do want to say thank you, and I'm here to explain a lot of things I did. Well, I don't think there's a lot of explanation to do. I think there's just a couple key points. I think the first one is this Piccolo right here. I think well, Piccolo. Alright, I'll preface this by saying this. This nigga right here, listen, I took this nigga to the Sin event. I mean, he to say he held his own was like, you just these stacks, you win. I don't know. I threw him on the team. I got him in super attacks in, and you won, right? Because the first two phases, the second phase is AGL. You definitely have enough time to build them up, right? I mean, I don't know. But another point was made about this Piccolo being right here, in which I think the statement could have been a bit biased based off of my experience. So I'm here to kind of touch up on that. Now, one point the dude made, which his name is like, cause YouTube did like a fucking Facebook update, and niggas got ads now, which is whatever. But he was saying, putting Piccolo at the lowest tier, while this guy and these guys were up here, and Piccolo always has Scouter, which he doesn't, and Piccolo builds up, throughout the fight, and then to get to the God mode form of Gohan, you get it earliest turn 7 at 55%. Now, granted, here's another part. I put clips on my Goku and Gohan, so I'm pretty lucky, I would say. I had to pull my fucking chair up. I'm pretty lucky, I would say, with them. So, um, I got my super attacks off, turn one. I got them off turn five, right? Turn five, I was able to transform. So I'm lucky in that factor. But 55% no equips, no nothing, you're getting them turn seven, which he made a good point about that. And he made a good point about how Piccolo links up well with this guy, right? Like probably the second top five unit in the game. Top three, top one, wherever you want to put him at, right? Top five, we're gonna say top five unit in the game, right? Piccolo, these guys share how many links? Three links, but they share three, like 7% health, 7% attack and defense, 50% and fierce battle. Like you know what I'm saying? That's three. That's the only fucking three links you need, right? That's the only fucking three links you need. He always has the scouter. He's recovering HP, launching additionals. He's getting this on super attack and he's building a super attack. And then once you transform here, you get this 40% damage reduction. Has the scouter still, is building up crit chance, which I guess doesn't really matter. Has a chance to launch an additional. Granted, on this he's only building attack, but he does get the 50% when doing a super attack. So you know it's whatever, right? It's fine. Take a sip of water, stay hydrated. But and I think we look at it that way. Yeah, I think that you know objectively Piccolo would be better than Bardock, and I think I will say as a unit I don't disagree. I've had a better experience with Android 17. I won't lie. I've had a better experience with Android 17 than I have Piccolo. But I think due to the fact that Piccolo links up well with this guy, and he always he has a very valuable tools. And I think because of that, I think I will put him here. Now, would I say he's better than Bardock? And we'll bring this up for later. That's a point. Would I say he's better than Bardock? Now, here's my thing. Bardock leads Goku's family, and I don't think we need to really talk about how good this fucking category is, right? I don't think we need to really say how nasty that shit is. Bardock does have a scouter for 5 turns, but then after that he sucks, right? Like he gets this, which is fine, but he's not really. You can't run him in anything, right? And he links with like I would argue this guy's better than him as a unit, right? I run this guy out. Not that I really run him anymore, but I run this guy a lot more than I run him, right? I mean, he shares 4 links with these niggas, but who's sitting in slot 1? Like, are you going to put them in slot 1 just trusting a 50% damage reduction? Which is a lot, but they build up so much off super attack. And you're sure as hell not putting this nigga in slot 1, right? So, that's where I could see. It's just the way I'm looking at it is if you summon for both units, well, I guess you're not summoning for Piccolo, but Bardock is I think a worser unit by far with a way stronger team. But I think fuck. I think I will do this because um I think I will do this because he is a better unit and I don't. Why would you want 2 Bardocks on the same team, right? I would having 2 of these would be better than having 2 of these. Not that you're running him as a leader, like no fucking way, but having 2 Bardocks is kind of like you have a scouter and then you just gotta hope that they don't get hit, right? Now this guy, I think he's better than this guy, right? But once again, I can see the argument of him being better than him because of all the utility he brings when fucking if I type in Goku in fuck, bro. Oh, thank God they inputted me being stupid. How far ago is this? This is a little bit ago, isn't it? He's not really doing too much besides the fact of he just has a lot of stats and strong links, right? But he links up well with these guys. I mean, 4 links, but you have prepare for battle, Saiyan lineage, and GT. That's 20% attack and defense plus 6 key throughout his link set, right? And then once full power Goku drops on global, that's even stronger, right? So maybe I'll convince myself that maybe that, maybe that, maybe that. You know what? I think my big problem is with Piccolo. I just haven't had a great use of him, but I think now I'm kind of convincing myself to put him up higher. I don't think I'll go past this though. I don't think I'll go past B plus. I don't think I'll go past B plus because still at 55%, like you're not really like he's not building as fast as he should. You got to be a lot more cautious with him, right? Even with the big links up, right? Like, is Piccolo better than Cell? Maybe, but Cell leads a better team. Now, granted, you're not really using Cell as your leader unless you don't have the gammas, right? Well, not even that. Like, you're not running Android slash Cell Saga. Like, fuck no. And you're not reading power absorption. Like, who the fuck is on that? Like, I mean, not really nobody relevant anymore. You know, maybe you can run these two, but this guy doesn't get good till turn 5, and you might get fucked over if you got hit too early. I mean, are you really running this nigga? Like, I don't know. Is Piccolo better than Cell? I don't know. I just haven't had the best of time using Piccolo. I have never had a good run with him go. Like, I don't think I've even won any event with him on the team yet. Right? Like, I haven't no item anything with him on the team yet, and that is a problem to me. Right? Like, I use a lot of these niggas a lot. Right? Like, if I pick up anybody on the team, like I'll throw him on the team, you know, sometimes. Like, I'll throw him on the team sometimes. Maybe not these two as much, and maybe keeping them up high here is a problem. But I would say, like, when you did use them, they were nice, right? This guy, like these two, they were nice. This nigga, he's gonna be good to the fucking end of time. You know, this nigga, if you got Vegeta and Trunks, right? Like, that's a good unit. Also, I don't give a fuck what nobody tells me. Tech Gohan is better than this nigga. I thought, like, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. I throw Tech Gohan on, whose team is he on? Who fucking team is he on? We probably have to go like way back for this, right? No, not that far. I throw him on Earthbred Fighters Power Wishes. You throw him on one. You throw him on World Tournament Goku's team, and you put him in a Sin event. And I mean, the first phase is what? I think it's end. The first phase is end, but you can debuff him. So who cares? Then the second phase is AGL, and he's guarding and greatly stacking attacking defense. So who cares? And then by the time you get to the last phase, he done already built up enough. So that nigga's nasty. I mean, my Tech Gohan has tanked a super attack from Sensenron. I wouldn't dare put this nigga in front of a super attack. I put this nigga in slot 1. Fuck no. But then the plus side is like, you know, you could put your best unit in slot 1, but it doesn't mean it could take the super attack, right? I threw this nigga in slot 1 and said, if Sin Super's right here, who gives a fuck? And I won. So it's kind of like, I don't give a fuck when nobody tells me this nigga is, and also I'm a Gohan stan. So I'm gonna play a little fucking hot potato with this nigga right here. But I think damn, how much am I been disrespected? Like, objectively, yeah, probably. I don't think I'll do this though, because while yes, they do transform on turn 7. What the fuck? I do Goku fucking slash Gohan. Alright. While they do transform on turn 7, they lead Goku's family, which is nasty as fuck. And they lead Super Saiyans, which is nasty as fuck. Now, granted, the 200% leads Android / Cell Saga, so both those two leader skills basically don't even fucking matter anymore. And look who do we see? This guy. So in that regard, it's like they really kind of cucks you, right? Because when they came out, who was relevant? Like, you know, this guy was good. I mean, I don't think he was out at the time. I don't think he easy till a little later. So it's kind of like, you know, what the fuck did you just give me? But they still lead 2 monstrous teams, which is pretty fucking nasty. And on top of that, once Gohan came out, I mean, you still had to get hit, which he could take some damage depending on that. And then he also has a 70% chance to nullify a Ki Blast super attack, which is pretty fucking nasty. Ferocious power. That's fucking hilarious. So, I mean, that is also another thing. But same do me the good point is that the earliest you may get this guy is turn 7, right? So, but I still like their team better, and overall, and also you don't have to put this nigga, like, you could put him in slot 2, and he can maybe dodge for you, right? Whereas my experience with this Piccolo is that he builds up super attack, but then he just gets you killed, right? So it's like, this nigga can dodge a couple times, but by the time turn 7 comes around, the event's basically over. Not the sin event, right? Like, I'll go by the hardest event. Maybe if you run them, I'm trying to think, in a Metal Cooler event, if you get them turn 1, you could get one turn 2. You could get Gohan out maybe for the last 1-2 turns, which is kind of like but it's also like then in a Gamma event, you probably have enough time. Definitely Red Zone Cell. You definitely have enough time for Red Zone Cell. So I mean, I think maybe I've been disrespecting Piccolo. I think I've been disrespecting him because of my experience dealing with him. Maybe after this video, I'll go try, Piccolo on a couple different teams and put him up next to Orange Piccolo. Maybe see maybe I'll have a better experience with him. Because why do I say that? Because this guy. At first, my experience with him was, but then that was off my first impression. I did a couple runs. That was on my first impression. But I ran him a couple times, and now I was kind of like, okay, this dude is like good. Like it. It just I had to get used to it, right? You just got to make sure he gets those stacks in. Try to get as many stacks in as you can, or maybe if you blast through the event because these two decided to take the fuck off, he still has his guard up. So either way, it's fine, right? You just gotta play around it. Like if it looks like you might be moving too fast, then you just kind of like he still has his guard up. Or if it might be a slow event, you make sure you get your 5 attacks in, so he can get his defense and you build up his 18k. Now, someone also stated that they will put down Cooler at A tier because he's very double line for the crits he needs. And the crits do make him a whole lot better because now he's like just dropping dick on you, right? If you get a bunch of super attacks, cool. But all the super attacks plus critical attacks, which I can see. I see why now that would be a statement. But also at 55%, he leads, two incredible teams, right? Like, maybe I'm fucking bugging, but I still use him as my terrifying Congress and movie boss leaders. Because who are you running on the team, right? You're running this nigga who like good. Doesn't have big bosses, unfortunately. He has fucking Resurrection F, but whatever. And you're running him with this guy, which at 55% is like, Like, you really want to make sure you get those attacks in. And, you could run this guy, who I don't have, so I can't really judge, but you have your big bad bosses. You have your Thirst for Conquest. And, that's what, 40% attack and defense across 2 links? Then, maybe if you get some stacks in with this guy, he's supporting the team. And then with Terrifying Conquerors, do we got to talk about this nigga right here? And which, in fact, I think I'm going to put him up here. Because I completely forgot about his giant form. And I did a run with Golden Frieza to use him a bit, kind of get a feel about how good he is. And we completely won that run because his giant form came out. And for those who don't know, when you do a giant form, it takes away, for that turn, there's no super attacks. And there's, for Senshin run, there's no AoEs. So, when this guy does his 3 turns or 2 turns of dropping dick on you, you also don't super attack. Like, they also don't super attack or do any AoEs for that turn. So that whole turn is normals. So you basically get a free turn, right? Like, you know what you're getting. So him doing that, and plus once that comes out, he gets his guard. He gets his active skill, which, the damage is fine. I'm really looking at the guard break, right? Your guard breaking the first attack, and then the second attack I had guard broken was by Cooler. And it was a front 100% Cooler, ironically, and he just dropped dick on Meta Cooler after that was over. So I can see the argument of Cooler being down. I don't think I'll do A tier because I still think his team is really good. Is he? Nah. I still think his team is really good, and I still think at 55%, you can get a good use out of him. And he's stacking attack, and then he drops the death ball. I will say I'm on a luckier side, so I more often than not get super attacks than normal attacks. So my experience with him is a lot different with probably other people. Probably get a lot of normals, and which is why my experience with this nigga is a lot different, right? So I see that. Also, I bumped Goku up because now I'm using him again, and I think that's about it, right? I bumped, making my sound louder. I still can't believe the video took off the way it fucking did in a day, right? I see why, having Goku and Gohan up here and Piccolo down here is disrespectful. I don't think I'm changing that at all, though. I think this is what I'm fine with. I can see this. This I'm not mad at, but I just, I don't know. I think tomorrow I'll get some runs in with Piccolo and maybe see like if I've been misusing them because that's the kind of same thing with him, right? I kind of had to get some runs in. Now I mean this nigga's just whatever, but I had to get some runs in. I had to really see because because I don't know if I've been repeating myself. It's fucking 2:46 in the morning, but I'll just say it again just for shortly. If you're running Piccolo and you have this nigga, you're running this guy, right? Like this is the guy you're using, cause he's just better. Like I don't like he's better, right? But if you're not lucky enough to have him, which I wasn't until recently, you run this guy. So I mean, I could see it both ways. Is there anything I would change about this list? I think this is what I'm fine with. I think I would do that, even though their team, like I don't know, because even though the team is nasty, and I don't think we need to talk about how good Vegeta and Trunks is. But what I will say is how well they still link up with everybody, right? Like if they showed you how many links they have with fucking like every other unit in the game, right? Like no, not them. I mean, you could run these two, right? Like they just have a good link set. Now, granted, you're not really hitting the big links. You're hitting like the legendary powers, fierce battles. Like the same way racing links. You're not really hitting like the GTS and the whatever. But it's still a viable team, especially that Vegeta and Trunks can hold down the first slot. But I think knowing of how good Giant form is, and not only is that 3 turns of him doing just damage, it's also like that very next turn that you come back, you don't have to worry about super attacks. I think I'm fine with that. I think this is fine too. Would I do this? I don't know. And also, where is he at? He should be up here somewhere. He does lead Terrifying Conquerors, but I don't like him too much as a Terrifying Conqueror lead because of his link set. He does have big bag bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Fierce Battle, which is really all you need, I would say. But Gifted Warriors, you surround yourself with these Piccolos. You get 4 Piccolos, and now it's like, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You might throw this dude in the team because he's solid enough, right? At least I think he is. He's solid enough. Then maybe you get, I don't fucking know who else is up here. After that, it gets a little scary. I mean, I guess you can run. I don't have this nigga, but if you have him, fine. If you have him, fine. So you can quickly and you surround yourself with a lot of good units. So I think that's going to be it. I don't think there's any more points I need to hit. Final Form cooler. I think I don't know. I'm torn. I see why he's S plus, but I also feel really comfortable putting him in Z. Like I do. Like he still has a good team. He has a good link set. He drops deck on you, and he can hold down slot 2, right? Now I have it random in the center event, and I'm kind of scared because he doesn't really he needs to super attack to get his big defense off. So I don't know how well he handles the AoEs. So maybe because of that, he gets dropped down to S plus. Because every other unit in here can handle AOE's. This nigga can handle AOE's, but I'm not a big fan of. I mean, Turtle School's a good team, but you kind of need some pieces thrown around you, right? Like if you look at Turtle School, like you could have this dude, right? You could have this dude. Like if you look at all these units, these are all like recent sunnable units. Like this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, right? These are all. I mean, I guess like this guy. Like I guess you could have a team full of like older units. Really, this nigga's up here. But then like really like who are you running? Like really this front page and maybe like you can take a gamble on that. Depend on the event. I would only do this unless like GT Goku and Vegeta are around. You could run them kind of for shits and giggles, right? But like these are all reasonably summoned units that you would need, I feel like, to run that team effectively. Still no Gohan. Still no Gohan. Should we do a summon for the one time? Should we do a Gohan summon for the one time? I don't know. I kind of want to. Let's flip a coin on it. All right. We not gonna do a Gohan yet. Still no Gohan. Still haven't wakened him, and I'm be honest, I'm already in a fucking rush. Still kind of getting a feel for him, but I feel like what I'm seeing now is that once his damage reduction is kind of getting loose, you kind of wanna, it's like a little, right? I think I'm gonna take him in the red zone cell because that's a longer event. Against Sin, I took him in on the Power Wishes team with like I basically put him in as a floater. It's like how well does he handle as a floater? And at the end he was like 100k per AOE. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But, it does have any links up by the time his damage reduction wore out. So I'm going to try a different bunch of setups. I'm going to try cooler and different bunch of setups. I think I would do this because of the team. Not because I think he's a better unit, but because of the team. But, and this isn't no, this up here isn't, I guess we could order it. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I would only change that. But I want to say that's it. We're at 27 minutes here. I don't think he's down at A, though. Hell no. And I think this is fine. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I'm going to keep it short. Hopefully I get Gohan. Is he better than Game 1? I don't know. At 55%... Game 1 does a lot. He supports you. Let's this is the last point of the video. Game 1, he has, he guards for the first 4. He's building up damage reduction. He's giving you support. This doesn't fucking matter. I mean, he has this too, because why the fuck not? He's leading movie heroes, which, this guy who just got his easy A. This guy who's nasty. You know what I'm saying? This guy who's nasty. You run these two. I mean, got Piccolo up here. Yeah, movie heroes is fucking disgusting. Yeah, movie heroes disgusting. Yeah, movie heroes disgusting. He's not better than this thing though. At 55%, no. I want to say that's it. I want to finish it off by saying thank you. This is the updated tier list. I'm gonna get some runs in with Piccolo, get some more runs in with Cooler. I mean, I'm pretty content with keeping Cooler at Z, but I can see why it's S plus. I think it's a valid point. I think it's a valid enough point to drop him down, and maybe after I get some runs in, I think I'll make my next one once. I'll probably look at Frieza, Boo, and hopefully Gohan. I want to see if there's anybody on this list. Nah, I'm not going to drag it out too much. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. Bardock is indeed mid. I still think these niggas are good enough. Enough. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run these to an event and see how I feel about it. And you guys stay up, stay easy. Thank you for all of the support on the last one. You know, hopefully this one does as well. And goodbye.